Remember when I said that setting this up would be easy? Well, I might not have said that, but I certainly thought it at some point, and turns out I was wrong. This is episode 128 of the Minecraft Let's Play, and this thing is finally done. As you can see, I've built a little wall here, put up the integrated circuit, and I have initialized it, put a redstone torch next to it. I've put in all of the microcontrollers at the correct depths, and as you can see, it is working. The fuel level is just at the level of the first microcontroller. Now, I can't show this, but there was something weird. Just where the microcontrollers were, in the vertical line, there was a gap in the fuel that wasn't filled. And I have no idea what caused that, but what I had to do was I had to spawn in a steel tank to have somewhere to put it all, and I had to drain the entire reservoir, pump the fuel out into the steel tank, and I then pumped it or let it flow back into the floodgate, and then I destroyed the tank, of course, and that fixed the weird gap, because I tried pouring in more fuel, but it didn't seem to be filling the gap in for some reason. Ow. Damn. Oh well. No idea where that thing came from. Now, I have turned off this pump here, the gas lift, that pumps fuel out of the reservoir into this buffer tank here, and it is empty, as you can see. I'm going to flip this lever and turn it off. This is going to draw in, slowly, 16 buckets of fuel, which might be enough to remove the fuel from the microcontroller, at which point the display should change to, there we go, to 0.0, and we'll see if we can make it up before that happens, if it happens. Now that this is done, we're going to switch the focus back to the factory. Now, I've been complaining about how the Railcraft drones don't work very well. Unfortunately, they're one of the few logistic systems I have access to in the current mod pack. Now, I could go about adding something like logistics pipes, or applied energistics, or something like that, if I was lazy and slightly boring. But I don't really want to do that. But, like I said, my options are quite limited. I don't think this is going to be emptied enough to go down to 0. We can check back later, perhaps. So, I have a couple of options. One is, of course, Railcraft and its logistics frame system. One is Buildcraft, and one is Open Computers. Now, Open Computers is the least appealing option because it would require a lot of programming. I am already using it for the factory, of course, because I need very precise movement of items, and I need to be able to request specific amounts of them. So that's why I'm using Open Computers for that. However, for getting resources, base resources into the packagers, these things, I'm going to need something a little more bulky. That's not really the right word, but I'm going to need to move a lot of items, and I need to be able to easily specify which items I want to have moved. Now, I have tried to use a logistics drone, which I have in here. However, this is kind of slow, and it needs to go and get refilled on air sometimes, and they have a tendency to get stuck on certain blocks, like the elevator doors, for example. Then we have Buildcraft, and it is possible to make a logistics system in Buildcraft. However, it is slightly too limited. And what I mean by that is, the way you would do it is, say for example, I have paper here, which I do, and I want to get this paper into this packager, which I do. We could do that. We could have an emerald pipe here, for example, and then have some cobblestone pipes go over here. Then we would have a gate on each end and pipe wire on the pipe. Now, I could tell this gate here that when there is less than 25% paper in this inventory, it's going to send a red pipe signal over to this to the gate here, which is going to power the emerald pipe and start extracting paper. Now, once enough paper has flowed down here to fill up 25% of this inventory, it's going to turn the signal off and it's going to stop extracting paper. Now, there's of course going to be a bunch of paper still in the pipe that is going to traverse down here, which is why you probably never want to use 100%, because it's going to overflow. The problem comes with the amount of items I have in here. Now, I have a limited number of sides to attach pipes to, for one, and each side can handle up to 4 items, because there are 4 colors of pipe wire. And that would probably turn into quite the mess pretty quickly, I think, which I don't really want. Now, those would be my options. However, I forgot one, which I reminded myself of yesterday, and that actually belongs to Pneumaticraft, and that is the logistics modules, which I had completely forgotten about, and I have no idea why, or why I happened to think about them yesterday. So, as a reminder, the logistics modules use the same frames as the logistics drone, but like you would imagine, they are stationary. You put them on a tube and you face them towards a block, and if that block has a logistics frame on it, they will be added to the logistics network, and the logistics network is anything that is attached to the same line of tubes. Now, these are a lot more reliable than the stupid drones. They won't get stuck on things, they are a lot faster. The drawback, however, is that the air cost is a lot higher. But that's not really a problem, given how much air I have and how much fuel I have for it, at least at the moment. So this seems like a good option. So with these, I can use the frames, so requester frames, to request specific items in specific amounts and have them be supplied very quickly. As you can see, I made 16 of these, which is quite a bit although not really, since you get 4 of them per recipe, which is nice. So I'm going to use these to supply these packagers with what they need. So we're going to set up a logistics network. Now, I'm not sure if I want to connect this to my existing tube network or not. I don't think I do. For one, I want to have the logistics module on high pressure, because then they will have the ability to reach the furthest. Now, I do have a pressure line coming down here, but it is only up to 5 bars, which is not going to be enough. And I don't feel like it's a good idea to have a high pressure tube going from up there down here as well, because it's kind of a long way. So instead, I'm going to set up a separate network that is going to have its own compressor. So we're going to have another advanced liquid compressor down there. Sentry chart. Connected to advanced tubes, so it's going to link all of the logistics modules and provide them with pressure, so we can get a bunch of valves or a block of compressed iron. So I guess we're going to get a bunch of compressed iron blocks to make tubes. Now the easiest way to do this, I think, is to do something like this, and then yeah, there we go. Huh. That was weird. Did it grab a block already? No. Not sure what's happening there. There's one block. We are going to get an uneven amount, of course, because I'm grabbing buckets at a time, trying to put them in to the cast, but we can put whatever is left when we are done back into the iron tank. Is it eating fluid? I don't know. Don't know exactly how much is required for a block of iron. It shouldn't be destroying it. Don't think it would be. Whatever. Let's get that out. Put this back to get some space. Then we're going to grab these 4 blocks, head back up and throw them into the pressure chamber. And we should probably add them to a filter somewhere. As you also might notice, I've rotated this elevator. I don't know if I showed that in the last episode or not, but that is a thing I've done. We are going to want them to come out here, I think. Now I might want to add them to this filter here, because I don't really use blocks of compressed iron for anything. On the other hand, well, if I want them for anything else, I can just take them out of this chest when they come out. And if not, I can just throw them into the hopper here and then come back later when they will be turned into valves and then into tubes. So that will do fine. We're also going to need an advanced liquid compressor, which is going to need a regular liquid compressor. Actually, maybe we should use a... What does this do again? Compressed air into EU. No, we want this. Maybe we should use one of these. That way we don't have to what's it? We don't have to have liquid fuel brought down, LPG brought down to the factory, because we already have power there. That seems like a viable option. So we're going to need a turbine rotor, which is turbine blades. Fortunately, I now have a minimal supply of redstone, but it is sufficient. So we're going to need some gold. So let's grab this. Stupid bat. Whoops. Alright, I have some stuff that should be processed. I can do that later. Let's see, I need 3 of these. So I actually only need 3 gold ingots. And then what more? Need an advanced pressure tube, some PCBs, which is actually going to need a bunch of compressed iron. Let's see, 1 for the board. So we're going to need 14, I think, total. Going to need some plastic and some redstone. For a bunch of stuff. Should have some coal. Let's put these in here for now. We're going to need 12, 14 sheets of plastic. I hope I have enough dye for this. For a PCB, you need exactly 7 iron ingots and 7 plastic, as well as 6 piles of redstone dust. We're going to need 2 green ones for the board itself. Going to need to get rid of some junk. We can put that away, and that doesn't go in there, of course. Let's see. Bring that back. Get those. So, for these we need six redstone dust. We can put those in. We can throw all of those in, really. Then we can get the remaining bits of plastic, hopefully. We're going to need 6 of those and 6 of those. And then we're going to need 12 more redstone dust, and that should do it, I think. Let's see. We have our tubes, which is great. Hopefully this isn't pulling things out. This should be disabled. Still pouring things in, and there's the annoying particles that make it hard to see what's happening. Should be the iron ingots there. And there are boards. Oh. Crud. Right. Probably should have waited with those. Oh. I made the wrong color of plastic. So I'm going to need 6 replacement bits. Cyan this time. I'm also going to need 6 replacement bits of iron. So we are going to have to go get that. Go down our nice quiet elevator. Quiet, of course, because all the noise is at the bottom. There. Dang it. Oh well. Now I'll have a bunch of extra unassembled PCBs for next time, which I'll undoubtedly need sometime in the future. So let's get 6 of those. And then pour those in. Should be fine. Let's see, we should have 6 of those and 3 of those. Now I do have an extra compressed iron ingot in here, which we can use for the turbine, which is handy. So there we go. Now I'm rid of that. We're also going to need some advanced alloy and a generator and a glass fiber cable and an advanced circuit. Relatively easy to get those things. Let's see, should have 1 in here, 2 there. Perfect. Let's assemble these. Like so. We'll grab 1 tube. And now we are going to have to make some stuff. I do have some energium dust here, which we can use to make our glass fiber cable, which is nice. Should have some silver somewhere. There we go. We can grind this down. We also need some iron for the generator and the circuit, so we're going to need 8. Is that the only recipe for a generator? Huh. Well, there's 5 and 3, so that's 8. We're also going to need a battery, which I don't think I have. But we're going to need 8 of these. Like so. And then an additional one for the circuit. Looks like we won't be able to do this in this episode, but I can assemble the final components in between episodes, and then we can finalize it, put it all together in the next one. But we still have some time, so we need some glass as well, I realize. I might have that in here, actually. Let's have a look. I do. Let's get 6 of those. Silver, energium dust, and that gives us a glass fiber cable. Just 1. But that is fine. This requires some redstone. Copper cable I do have. So let's get 6 of those. Get that plate. Go like this. Guess that's a basic circuit. Then we'll put these away in here for now. We have some tin plates in there already. Now we need 4 of these. I actually already had lapis in here, I realize. We need 2 of those. And then we need 2 glowstone. And some redstone. Wasn't that the recipe? There we go. Didn't realize it was sensitive to that. Then we need 2 advanced alloys. So we need tin plates, bronze plates, and iron plates. So we need 3 more iron ingots, actually. I miscalculated that. That was a failed jump. I blame the lag. Because why wouldn't I? Let's get some bronze as well, in case we don't have any pre-made plates up here. Put those in there. And we don't. So that's all right. Probably should make these first, so we can make the exactly 3 tin plates. That is slightly convenient. We actually have an advanced alloy, only 1 unfortunately. Let's take these back, actually, because we're going to put them in there. Then we go iron, bronze, and tin sandwich. And we'll want to compress these, not grind them down. Then we also need that battery. Fortunately, we appear to have item casings. We just need a copper cable, I think. It should be like this. No, was it tin? Might be tin. Yeah, it's a tin cable. Dang it. I don't think I have any of those, actually. Which, unfortunately, means that we are going to... Those are high voltage cables, aren't they? Yeah. Which means that we are going to have to get a tin ingot, which I actually have up here. Aha. And we're going to extrude it into wire. And can put that away. We need a piece of rubber to insulate it. We actually get 3, but we don't want the other 2. We'll do that. Grab the item casings again. Now we have reached the end of the episode, I'm afraid. So, we are going to come back for the next one to assemble the pieces of the electric compressor. Yes, that's what it was called. Very fortunate that I happen to remember that. And then we are going to assemble the new logistics system. So, I will see you then.